Hello
Hey,
and good evening, and welcome to the
the truth.
shot behind Trump. Oh, should we not make light of this?
Mm,
Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, good evening, y'all, and welcome to
the
the
truth
truth behind
behind
the truth. Man,
truth.
what a perfect day to be coming on, man. Can you not like, good evening, Darnell. Can
Hey,
you,
Hey, hey,
Danielle.
can you not believe it? I mean, I am like all smiles. I mean, and
I was thinking
I,
about going to the bar and getting me a Trump shot, but I did not know about. I mean, God, why?
uh,
This is
this is
this
amazing.
Trump everything. This Trump. This is
This
a
is, I mean,
this Trump.
I am not, I, yeah,
Oh
you
God.
know, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to process this. This is just
I'm
like,
like Fantasia. Somebody's gonna get hurt after this situation. You just hope it's not you. I mean, and Trump.
man, it's
I,
And
gonna
Trump.
be a shit
I, I,
show.
I, I, hi Darnell, how you doing?
It's gonna be a shit show. That's all I can say. He gonna have blame it on
Man,
everybody else.
you know,
It's amazing.
this is like right on time day.
It's
I mean, you know, I'm still
bittersweet.
trying to,
It's
you know,
bittersweet.
I'm still trying to process this moment. Once
Ooh.
again, good evening, everyone. Welcome
Mm.
to the Truth Behind the Truth. You know, we could not have found more of a perfect
Yes,
day
Lord.
to be, you know, in the midst with you guys. You know, yes, I'm sure if those of you have been aware that Donald Trump has the attempt, well, I guess the mosquito or the bee or whatever it was, grazed his ear today during a rally. Of course, it's all over the news media at this particular point. Of course, we know we have our lot to talk about, you know, when it comes to that, and we're going to have a lot to share about it when it comes to that. And we will see. And I will say that there was I don't even call it a prophetic moment I had right around this time last year.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
did say something
yeah,
about
yeah,
somebody getting shot.
yeah, I did. I said that there was probably one, and I felt within my realm of the spirit, you know, Darnell knows how it is when we get those unctions, you know, you do too, that something is occurring or whatever. And you can say you heard it prophetically. I don't care you say you heard it prophetically, because if God told you that the man was going to get shot, guess what? The man was going to get shot. Ain't no question about it. You know, I mean, nowadays people tend to run from the truth behind the truth when it comes at them. You know, and one thing about this show and this platform is that we get downloads from the universe all the time. And if you as an individual choose not to accept that, that's okay. That's on you. But I can say, and I'm gonna shut up, that I know emphatically that I said last year around this time that something was going to happen to Donald Trump, you know, during this whole process. And this may not be the last time. Okay, the security gonna tighten up a little bit more, but you know, hey, another bid may come along. But last thing I'm saying, so it's amazing that this was a bee that stung him. Okay, but Martin Luther King got, you know, totally half his head blown off. I don't understand. So it was a bee. But go ahead, Ben.
Well, I'm just gonna say I don't condone violence. I think it's just
Right.
unnecessary to be shooting at people. But to be honest with you, this is just
Well, he said he was a hood representative, so
the
maybe
man
maybe
said he would
maybe.
shoot somebody on Wall Street
Well,
and get
see,
away
well,
with
so
it.
he called it on himself.
So he called this on himself. He
Yep.
put this type of atmosphere out here. Now, me,
Uh
I'm gonna be like those 9/11 deniers and
huh.
say that it was only a ketchup pack
You know what? I
because
cannot.
at the end of the day, how can somebody just miss somebody just standing there? And then the security, you know, you remember that part on Sister Act
Uh huh.
in the beginning when she when they do the transition from hooker to maid
Uh huh.
to
Oh yeah.
nun
Uh
on
huh.
the
On the
they all
stage.
came in and did this
Uh
and
huh.
he had to catch a pack.
Uh huh.
I did not see a bullet, but I think I did see the ketchup pack in his hand when he lifted it up
Uh
like
huh.
this.
Uh huh.
I thought I saw a ketchup pack. Did y'all see a ketchup
I
pack?
think it was a catch up
Child,
pack because
listen,
he's still trying to catch up with that pack. Because you know, I'm serious.
that
That
was
you
that was kind of one of those. That was a warning for him to let him know that therefore you playing around with fire.
know.
And what's gonna happen is this was just a graze. The next one is gonna be the real deal, Holyfield.
Wow.
They
Come up
told
to the mic
JFK
just a little
about it
bit,
as
Yeah.
Darnell.
this.
You
Darnell,
say
come up to the mic just a little bit. Come on, yeah.
No, I was saying, I was saying they just basically telling him that the next one is going to be the real deal Holyfield. So if I was him, I would just sit down somewhere, and not be bothered with the people, you know. But
well, he ain't gonna do that.
You know him, that's too much like right.
He's not gonna do that. I mean that.
But I'm still thinking that this is all staged and he's still inciting violence. Now, okay, then fine. There might have been a shooter because now on the news they said other people were killed and other people were shot at. Or my thing is this: if you're a Republican and you believe in gun laws, and I don't believe that we should have gun laws, well, I mean, this is just another, situation where gun control is probably what you need to be fighting for, because none of y'all would. I mean, let me just say this: every one of them was dodging bullets. Now, if they were dodging, but I mean, how y'all love guns? Why are you dodging a bullet? That's just me. If you dodging a bullet and this is what you support, then stop. Just stand there and support it.
Right.
Stand there and support your man. Not support the bullet coming towards your man, because that's what he supports. That's what you support. You support machine guns. You support kids all of this stuff. Yeah, kids, mass shootings. When people are telling you that guns kill and you say mental illness kills, the guy who was pointing this gun might have been mentally ill, but the gun was definitely on making some rounds. And I hate to say it, that gun don't have mental illness. It has bullets. And y'all were dodging them.
Right.
And you're looking stupid right now because your man got ketchup on his ears. I don't know if that was, I don't know. Y'all just...
Charlie, it was, baby. They grazed the
ketchup pack.
They grazed the mess out of him.
Because I
this trumps everything that I had going on tonight.
Trumps everything. I cannot.
God,
jeez. Well, okay. I'm still trying to, get my head around the whole lot. But really, honestly, I'm really trying to get my head around the fact is that I did say this, and on a really serious tip. I did say this. You can say prophesied or whatever. I was at work and one of my new associates, well, not new, but relative associates said, "Oh, Trump got shot." I was like, "Really?" And I was in a meeting at the moment. And I said, "Okay, well, anyway, so let me just go over what I was talking about, because I was not moved, by what had happened. I mean, some of the supporters will say, well, you're being unfair. Well, okay, you would be the same way if unfortunately if something happened to another current official.
Yeah, they would. That's the truth. That is the truth
behind the truth. You would be saying something, and I'm waiting for all the alleged to say that he was responsible for all this. He set it up. Matter of fact,
no, Biden set it up.
Biden set it up. He was already out there. He was at the rally. Yes. Yeah, he was at the rally. So
these alternative facts that they like to throw out. Biden did. Biden do everything. He even shoot at Trump.
Right. So
Biden got nothing else to do. He old and feeble. How can he pick up a gun?
Right. Okay.
He's too old.
The man just all he want is a nap. That's it.
That's it.
He want to nap and do his job.
Trump.
Right. So, but it's gonna be all over. Biden showed up at the rally, and tried to shoot former president. Oh no, President Trump. So
he would have been rubbing Trump's arm.
Rubbing his arm. Rubbing his arm.
It's amazing how we had a president for 8 years. Consecutively 8 years, and then nobody shoot at him. He didn't get grazed. Right. He didn't get anything of that sort of nature. Biden has been there going on 4. He ain't got shot at or grazed. And now this man, he just today when it come close to the election, the election time. Now you get folks want to.
Right. He got some McDonald's packages that he had in his pocket. Okay, from the food that he just ate. He pulled the package out. And said, "Okay, ready." Oh, look what happened. It took a little bit of rubbing across his face, make it look good. Because when I saw the alleged activity that went down, I was like, okay.
But this man has did everything underneath the sun.
Yeah,
now, he has said everything underneath the sun. He has provoked. Right. He has promoted all types of insurrection, violence, retribution. He has said it himself. If he's president, he's going to it's going to be retribution.
Right.
And he is going to start. He said that he was going to punish those who have went against him, have gone against him, said things against him. This man is all about what has happened today.
Yeah.
He's about.
He said blood was going to be shed if it was going to be blood shed if he didn't watch him. But the blood was shed today.
Right. Okay. But his was the first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whenever you declare something, you always be the first partaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Whitney Houston said, you ain't the first to experience some hurt. A mess.
So, it is what it is. But we're not going to spend this whole show talking about Donald Trump, okay?
We might as well. This today's topic. Today's topic going to be about Trump all day, every day.
Well, they said, Richard Simmons passed on that went on to glory today.
No.
Yes, he did.
What? Yes, he did.
75.
No way.
76. 77 is what was 75 or 76.
No,
one of them.
He's been out of the public for a long period of time since 2016. I think they said the last that he had been out of public sight. He went back into wherever he decided because they were working on a biopic for him. And wow, that's amazing.
Yep.
That is
what he went on today.
I remember when Eddie Murphy paid homage to what's his name?
You out of camera.
What was his name?
Well, honey, Eddie just went and recently got tied tonight again.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah, his movie's good. We're all over the place. So we got to get back on track.
Yeah, we need to get back on track.
We talk about too much stuff right here. We can take it in stages. We can just get back on track.
Yes.
But anyway, so let's kind of curve our way to President Biden. Of course, he has been in the spotlight all week long up until today. Of course, new shutdown. They ain't gonna forget talk about him anymore. Probably over the weekend it's gonna be all about the attempted assassination. But anyway, so moving on. So he has made special efforts. He did have the council. Was it he's at the White House or did he meet them everyone? The G Summit or whatever that he just hosted this past week. I don't know what it was. But anyway, it was his big steak dinner and the whole 9 yards, and then he came out with his first press conference thereafter. His efforts were to paint a better picture, than what happened during the debate.
Yeah.
So, of course, they were scrutinizing, what he did during the press conference, and he made some blunders. I think he called somebody something different than what it was, or whatever the case would be, during that particular point. Well, I want to say this part, okay? When you get asked to a point at a certain age, I don't care. I mean, those of us that are a little bit above 40, those are approaching a little bit above 40, things change at 40, okay? Because you swear that you remember something that you did 2 minutes ago and then you have already forgotten it. So that changes drastically when you become 50, it becomes when you turn 60. Because I know there are days right now, I'm like, wait a minute, what was I just saying? And it because I think you're so inundated with so much information, and your brain gets on overload. And it gets on overload trying to process that, and then you're having the middle of a conversation, or like him, really just straightforward, having talk about all of the policies and things that he wants to do and things like that, and then something else comes to mind, and then you try to go back to that and still have that same conversation. It does get a little bit difficult, I mean, if you all are not you in my general audience, but if you are really trying to say that somebody needs to be on point every time that they are articulating a lot of information, especially about policies that y'all don't agree with in the first place, and trying to convince you of that, then I think you got a problem. You know what I mean? I think really you have the problem, and that there's not enough compassion that is offered. But some of y'all would rather stand or sit or whatever, in front of your TV and let this man that got shot, bug snapped today, and let him spew consistent lies at you, over and over again. But you choose to see that because it was more charismatic. Is that a good word for him?
Yeah.
I think Biden is allowed to make some blunders, and you got that one that you was just talking about. If he can lie every 30 seconds and get away with it, what's wrong with making a little blunder here and there?
Absolutely.
I mean, my thing is, goose is good for the gander. Biden can do whatever he wants to because this dude the media has allowed this man to still thrive off of his lies. That's true. The saddest thing is that the media is really, like I've been saying it for so long, they have been the biggest letdown I don't care what anybody say. How can you sit there and you report on these lies as though as they are factual? And all you are talking about is the fact that has Biden been talking to a neurologist, and has he been to the doctor, and what medication is Biden taking? What medication are you taking?
Absolutely.
Because have you not missed this man over here talking crazy about taking away the fact of our taking away rights and then ripping up the Constitution and then Project 2025? Y'all so busy talking about Biden's illness. We have a situation where there's going to be a political a government. Just say this. Let's just say this man is going to be our president. What are we going to expect?
We ain't gonna be expecting nothing. We're gonna be heading up to Canada. So
what is coming? And the fact is that this media that CNN, they're a waste, and Fox has always been a waste.
Right.
But in fact, and MSNBC, they're kind of on the coattails of some of these other news formats. But the thing about it is, it's just they have been the biggest letdown through all of this. I don't care what Trump is saying,
right?
And Biden is just going to be Biden.
And speak to this particular post on here.
Well, women don't need rights. We have kitchens. Oh well, hell yeah. That's
part of Project 2025, ladies. Hey, you're gonna be back in the kitchen.
White men are gonna thrive white men would thrive off of Project 2025. That's who it's based on. White men, that's what it's geared towards. And at the end of the day, everybody else is just, we're cooked.
Right. Well, for that note, Darnell, before you come in, we're going to go to a quick break.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Darnell.
We'll be right back with more. All right, and we are back, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the truth behind the truth, or the truth behind Trump, whatever what you want to look at tonight. Okay,
behind Trump, Lord Jesus,
because everything else has been a lie. So tonight it will be the truth behind Trump. No, but anyway, moving on. Go ahead, Darnell. What's your point?
The only thing that that bothers me is that you have people out here who have done things in life that it was their past life. They were young, they got charges, they're felons, and they're not able to be able to thrive in life as they normally would if they wouldn't have those charges. And they're limited to jobs, they're limited to housing, they're limited to so many different things or whatever. Now you have this man here who has all these multiple guilty charges, felony charges at that, and he can yet still sit there and lie to the people, yet still sit there and run for the country, the greatest country in the world, that he say that we are a shit show though, or whatever the case be. And it's just okay. And I wonder, where is the people? Where is the mind of the people? That's my question.
And I've been asking that question for weeks. Is just where are the mind of the people? I really don't know. I in my lifetime.
Go ahead.
My lifetime, I would have never anticipated seeing this type of rhetoric among humanity, typically this portion of humanity in America. But go ahead, which one?
You know what? And I had a situation today on the job. Now I don't even talk politics. I don't talk politics at work. I think it's really a waste of time talking to average Americans who don't know how their government is ran, and they don't keep up with anything that pertains to anything that's political unless it's alternative facts. But this guy, we were talking, and he asked me where I reside. I said I reside further downtown downtown LA. You know, we live almost close to downtown. Oh, well, you live in the sanctuary city. I'm listening to him, and he going off about how the illegals are coming through because Biden has the wall open, and you know, and Trump going, when he gets in there, he's gonna do all of this and do all of that. And I'm sitting there listening to all of this, right? And you know, when people talk, and I learned this too, because I don't even have to debate people who over talk. Right. Like really, they just preaching to you because they want to hear themselves talk.
Right.
Most of the time, that's how foolish some people sound to me. Because I don't have to. But going to what I asked them, I said, listen, if you was either President Biden or President Trump, and you was having to deal with a divisive Congress who cannot come to a decision about immigration plan or immigration law, you know what I'm trying to get. If they cannot come to a decision about anything, what are you going to do about the situation? Right. Forget about what Biden ain't doing, what Trump did. What are you going to do since you have the bright idea? And the only thing he could come up with, well, I won't do what Biden is doing. Wow. See, the thing about that is that's foolishness. Right. And that's where the average American, that's how they sound these days. They sound like Trump. That's why some of them are going towards Trump, because Trump talks like them. They have no type of foundation or understanding of how this system works. And to be honest with you, the more he kept talking, the more foolish. And I'm sitting here like, this is why I could never debate anybody like you. Because to be honest with you, it sounds like pure shit that you want to sit here and preach to me about what Biden is not doing. You don't even know what's been done. You have not even said in front of your television. You have not did your research. We live in the information age. Yes. We have these phones all up in our faces every day. But you know, we want to listen to what speaks to us. And I'm sorry, if you're not speaking facts, if you're not doing your research, but going off of what Candace Owens is saying because she speaks my language. I'm going off of what so-and-so is saying because he speaks my language. That is not the way to go. I'm just saying, people just need to wake the F up because this is a serious game that is being played right now. And to be honest with you, those bullets didn't tap his ass, but somebody was trying to come up after him. Send a message.
You know, one of our regular viewers, thank you, everybody, Benjamin, for watching tonight, Miss Jessica watching tonight, and our faithful critic, which, love him for his questions, Joe. It's a good question, Joe, and I'm going to pose it. I'm going to answer it. I'm going to let Dylan answer his version, and I'm going to ask Darnell answer. So his question is, what would you do as president?
Yeah.
Okay. And so we're going to give us our own, viewpoints. We'll answer that in brief that we can. And then, hey, respond back, Joe, if you like, whatever, matter of fact, put it in the comments, guys. If you want us to, address something, we'd like to hear from it, put it in your comments and we'll try to, address it in a matter that we feel that we're expertise enough on. But anyway, so answer your question, Joe. Me, myself, okay, first of all, my focus, number one, will be working on unity. Okay, it will start with unity. All right.
Absolutely.
I will surround myself with people with the vision of unity, okay? And that's on both parties, okay? Whether I decided to come as an independent, Democratic, or Republican, all right? The problem is that what we have is that there is no sense of unity on either side, okay? Because everybody wants to dominate somebody else. Democrats want to dominate America for their perspective, and Republicans want to dominate America for their perspective, and independents want to dominate America for their perspective. Everybody has a perspective on an agenda that they want to force everyday living Americans, hardworking Americans, to be on their agenda. That shit's got to stop, okay? Now, I don't know how we're going to go about it, but I know that what I would do, first of all, is that we would reform Congress, and we would reform Senate, and we would reform Washington, okay? Number one, we'd get rid of terms. We'd start term limits. Get your ass out, okay? If you hadn't progressed in 8 years, get out. Now, you can stay for 4, you can stay out for 4, get reelected, but you got to go. There's old head stuff that's got to go. We got to make a way for some young people. We got great people out here. Got Miss Jasmine Crockett. We got Governor Westmoreland. That's doing phenomenal things. And there are tons of other younger politicians or ones that are doing the work that needs to be done. That's the first thing I'm going to do. My day one, changing Congress, getting rid of the old heads, okay? Changing the face of what we see right now. Then we work on unity, okay? Because young people have a vision of unity. It's the old ones that don't want to have unity. They want to stay stuck in time, keeping things exactly the way that they want to do it and what have you. Now, you may not like LGBTQ, whatever, APIP plus and all the other alphabets in between. So what? It's not your business. Okay, and a company or a country should not run on your ideas, what you want for somebody else's life. Get the L out of people's lives. Religious folk, this is not a religious country. Okay, stop it. Okay, stop trying to pass the Bible on people. Okay, live the life in front of them that they may ask you about your Bible, but y'all don't want to live in front of people. So that's another thing I will stop on day one. This is not a religious country. Okay, there's a freedom of speech, freedom of life, freedom of worship. Okay, we can get back to that. But anyway, let me shut up. I can keep going. Go ahead. What's your point?
Well, my devil's advocate is what can you do as president? And this is the thing I can say. Mm-hmm. A president is.
You said that you was going, darling. You was on my.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I was going. The president can only do so much. Now, this is what I would do as president. My PR team would have to be on point.
Okay.
And I would be out there selling my points.
Okay.
To those who would want to listen.
Okay.
And my points would be A, B, and C, and D. If we were talking about immigration, yeah, I would have a plan saying, well, we're going to have to make some a decision on how to organize a situation that is so bad where, A, B, and C, this is how it would work. Now, I know it's sounding all over the place, but, this is right. Because at the end of the day, PR is what really, and this is why I really agree with Trump on this.
Okay.
Because Trump has a great marketing team because of his business savvy past, which I wish that Biden would understand that you need to get your point across.
Right.
But you still have to deal with a Congress.
Right.
You still have to deal with the Senate.
Right.
You're going to have to find somebody within two parties that is going to understand the situation, whether they like it or not.
Right.
There are going to be disagreements, but there's still, your tail needs to be out in front of the people.
That's right.
And as president, in order to make some sound change, you got to make a connection with your people.
Right.
With your country, with the people who support you, with at least for me to understand where you're coming from. That's the one thing I can say, because the president can only do so much.
Right. That's true.
He is not a dictator. Right. He is not a king. He cannot just say, well, this is going to happen and that's it.
Right.
No, he has to deal with the Congress, the Senate,
and
sometimes he has to deal with the Supreme Court too, because they get involved when things go south.
Right.
And I hate to say this, Biden can't do shit, nor could Trump. If Trump could do anything, the one thing he did say he was going to build that wall, but where is the wall?
Right.
See, that's the one thing I keep telling people. Trump couldn't build that wall because he had to deal with a situation within the House and the Senate.
Right. And
so, but he had, what he could do was sell that point.
Right.
So at the end of the day, the president can only sell whatever he can sell to the American people and keep it pushing.
Right.
That's all he can do.
Yeah.
He can't do that. He can't do that so much. I'm just saying he cannot do as much as we would want him to do. Go ahead, Darnell. I'm sorry.
I feel like you guys you hit the nail on the head when it came down to everything, because that's basically, if I was in office, me personally, I would just change out. Every seat would be changed. We to give fresher people, fresher ideas, fresher minds, fresher. I think as a whole, to give the country a refresh. To be refreshed or whatever, because with these all the old heads in there, anytime a new idea comes, they're always going to be stuck on the old. So that would be the first thing that I would do, to get do a revamp of every aspect of everything. Of course, that'll be a hard job to do, but come on, if Trump can go and assign all these people into these places, I'm pretty sure that as a president, you can do the same thing as well. I think that would be the greatest start. Or whatever the case would be, and I'm with you when it comes down to the unity. That would be one of the biggest things, because at this moment, that's what we need greater than anything.
Right.
The gain unity throughout the country, throughout offices, throughout just everywhere, states, everything.
Right. You know? Well, the one thing that I don't, whatever platform that you are on, not you, but you're on, and your belief factors and all this other type of stuff, and how did we all of a sudden just drop the key element about what we projected for you? I'm building on a quick point here. I thought that we were called the United States of America. Okay. Oh, no. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm going with that. Okay. So the root word of united is unite, meaning together, meaning to compromise, meaning to come with a better understanding together, not having separate ideas on every individual thing to keep you separate. United means all things working together for a good purpose. All right. So we have completely lost the idea of what united means. Let's just start. You know what? Go back to what that word means as to you as an individual. Okay. What would you do? How would you unite the states of America as a president? Now, I'm not throwing that necessarily to Joe, but anybody else that's out here that's listening. Okay. But I like the question that Joe asked about that. So let's just start with that. What happened to you? What happened to the United Part? You can't be the United Republicans of the United States. You can't be the United Democrats of the United States. You can't be the United Independents of the United States. Yeah, you can unite together as a party, but that's not uniting the states. That's not uniting the you know what I'm saying? It's not uniting the people. Okay, yeah, you could do that. I mean, you got United whatever. You got United Methodist Church. You got United whatever. Okay, those are belief systems. Okay, but the purpose of what I'm saying is that when we established that, as our forefathers established that name for this country, that meant for a specific purpose. All right, not to have a major division among parties. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, to come back there, when were we ever united?
Well, here we go.
I mean, the thing about it is, it is. We are called the United States, but then you have states who don't unite with certain regions on certain principles and certain moralities and certain situations where we might have differences of ideas, because we have seen it when it has been in our history about the Civil War. We have seen it where it has dealt with racial divisions, and we have seen different things come about where we have always been divided. But the only time we have ever been united in a way, for me, is during 9/11.
I was about to say that.
Every time they had Pearl Harbor, every time there has ever been something that was tragic and has kind of, gave us some type of, atmosphere of, us being unsafe, is when we have always ever been united. But other than that, though, I have never felt like we have always been united and in peacetime.
Right. Darnell, go make you probably have something to say about 9/11, but go ahead.
But no, you have to think about it. That's just, as people in general, we all band together when it's tragedy.
Right.
That's the only time we band together, because that's kind of like we become trauma buddies at that point.
Right.
We all become trauma buddies because therefore, we can feel sympathy for trauma or whatever the case may be in our own way. We can find a way in that. So I think that's the problem. We got to stop banding together when it come down to trauma, and we got to band together when it come down to right and wrong, and making sure things are on track, making sure that our governments are working together, working as they should, make sure our Congress is working as it should. Our states just on the whole, because that's where it started. Your state, you got to do what you're supposed to do past the Congress and all the Senate and all that. Your state is where you need to be putting your work in at.
True. We say that all the time. I mean, that you should be involved in your state legislature, but even beyond the state, it has to be the state and local. I mean, because that's where your immediate action comes from, from your local, because the local gets it partially together or together, then it passes it on to the state, and the state has to cohesively balance things with the local cities, and then move on if it needs additional assistance from the government or from the federal level. But we don't follow that chain of command, because we can take that idiot down in Texas, and think that he runs everything. And Abbott, and then the other idiot over in Florida, I mean, and so it just, you have these people. Number one, they get unfortunately elected because they tickle the ears of certain people. Okay, and as I started out my conversation earlier, you don't have a mind of being united when you are still progressively pushing separation. Separatism. Yeah, and then that could be on every level. But so you want to be separate from this people group because it's something about that people group that you disagree with. That's not your place. You were never called to be separate from somebody you didn't agree with. You were called to find harmony with that person and appreciate where they are, just like they appreciate where you are. So that's a battle here of really just understanding that because you don't like something about somebody, you cannot form a whole nother union around it. And this is what has happened in America. I mean, like I gave a quick synopsis on the list of the things that we all fall short for in our belief systems. But until our belief systems change, it's going to be this type of situation. And then we're going to have people that are trying to usher people in, like Donald Trump, that has no clue about unity. Okay, no clue. All right. I mean, because his idea of unity is telling people that you want retribution. That's unity. No clue unity is telling people to attack a Capitol and they want to deny it and say that you weren't involved. That's unity. That's bringing a party together. That's bringing people together in unity. I don't think so. All right. So look, what happened to him today? There are people going to surround him. They go, oh my God, this happened to Donald Trump. And
the man is the Antichrist.
What do you say?
That man is the Antichrist.
Well,
that's it. That's all.
Okay. I didn't want to go there. Okay. Because it's a debatable question, but in terms of that, but from the spiritual side, Christian side, yeah, there are clear indications. Okay. But you and I, in Sense Freeway, I know you do it. But his behaviors are dictating one that could be of that. However, the region, in terms of you understand that area of, I don't want to get into teaching y'all, but in the book of Acts, okay, book of Revelation. See, I made a wonder. My name ain't Joe Biden. But mentioning in the book of Revelation, but that individual that is supposed to be happening, it's supposed to come from the east, okay, and it's supposed to be a man of a certain shade, not black, but of a certain shade, okay, and it was supposed to rise up from power in the east. Now, there's a lot of Israelis and different things that are going on over there that we necessarily don't know about, all right, but I do say, and I agree, that the behaviors of what we're seeing out of Donald Trump would be dictated that as an opportunity. But they said the same thing during Hitler too. Okay, they call Hitler the same thing. All right, so Hitler was the Antichrist of his particular, and it is true. Okay, and let's say it this way: anytime that you are not Christ-like, you are considered anti. Okay, so the idea of the purposeful being of that or that. So we don't know if Trump is anti in Christ itself, because you have your evangelicals where he the re-embodiment of Jesus Christ, the orange version. So the evangelicals, feel whatever they feel for him anyway, but that's another story. And matter of fact, well, it is true.
They're pushing the narrative right now, and they're pushing hard too. Right. But going back to what you were talking about, united, I'm still trying to figure out how can a country can be united when there's tribalism.
Okay.
There's tribalism in culture. Now you just brought up the evangelicals, but then you have those who don't believe in that sentiment of that belief. Right. Then you have those who believe that we must be divided in order to become these United States of America. And the saddest thing about it is, though, you work around these people.
Yeah.
Now, this is where I sometimes, even today, I didn't bring up anything about sanctuary cities and anything political. He brought it up. I didn't even want to bring up anything political. I didn't even talk. I didn't even want listen, I was ready to get up out of there, go to the warehouse, do my paperwork, and go home. This man wanted to preach to me. Wow. This is the one thing I cannot stand about people when they want to talk politics.
Sound like my brother.
They want to preach to you without you debating them about their facts. And I don't have time to listen to you preach to me about what you believe is what you believe is fact.
Right.
I must do research before I believe in what you're telling me. Because at the end of the day, what you're telling me could be a big fat lie. And next thing I know, I'm spreading lies all over the place because you think it's fact.
But
go ahead. But I'm just saying, though.
What you're saying,
but I'm just saying, though, the thing about it is, though, that's what I get annoyed with conversations about, because I feel like if we're going to talk politics, let's be real about the situation. If this is what you believe, you have that right. And I'm not going to fight you on your right to believe that we should have guns and each and everything, but I think it's wrong that we should have guns in the first place, because those who are not mentally well, which we don't know who this guy who was shooting at Trump is, was he mentally well? Do we know anything?
Some people's opinion is
listen, was he mentally sane? We don't know. But then you want to put guns in teachers' hands and pastors' hands and politicians' hands. We don't know what's wrong with these people, and they got
in their private time.
In their private time. But this is what they support, and you're going to dodge bullets. That's my thing. Now you can't dodge what you support.
Well, all right. Hey, you heard that. You can't dodge what you support. My point is that I know, Donna, you waiting in the wing. Let me say.
I'm just.
Let me say this. I just wanted to add to what you were saying about how how we support our belief systems. And one of the things that let's say that there was a common denominator that Americans could move toward. Okay, my common denominator that we could move to, because you brought up evangelicals and all this other type of rhetoric that's going on. The common denominator that I think that if we could get to the point is moving toward spirituality. Okay, and let me put a pause with that. Spirituality. All right, meaning that you don't push religion, you don't push a denomination, you push love, acceptance, understanding, and openness. Okay, I just happen to believe that if you push that agenda, eventually, now we all collectively may not see it in our lifetime, but you will invoke the change that everybody in America wants. Okay, but guess what? You got to lay aside your way and your ways in order for that to happen. You can't come with your spiritual beliefs and your way that it has to be this way, or the Bible said. The Bible says a lot of things. Okay, but the one thing it does say is unconditional love, and that's where all of us need to find ourselves in doing that particular perspective. And if we start doing that a little bit more, we wouldn't find a man getting shot with a bug in his ear. We wouldn't be calling the leader of this free world at this point slow and lethargic and and all the other things that we've thrown at this man that has tried to do his best to do this country the way it needs to be. But anyway, I'm gonna let Darnell make his point in with that.
No, it's just I don't know. I don't understand. It to me, it's just all of it. To me, it's just humbug BS. And I tell you, I just want the people to wake their asses up, because we are now less than months before it's time for the showdown, the real shit, the real deal, Holyfield. And if the people don't take their blinders off, we're gonna be up shit's creek without a paddle. Seriously. Because right now it's just as if people have on blinders, and everything that he do is just like they just ooh yeah. And then when the shit hit the fan, that's when they're gonna be sitting back talking about, well, I should have watched on, or he said that he was gonna do this, or he said that he was gonna do that. Yeah, all of them say they're gonna do a lot of shit, but they don't do it.
Right. Well, and the thing about
and I want to say this too. I really want to say this, and I just thought about this. If I was president, I would force the Congress. I would give everything back to the people. I would give the people back their power. Number one. If I was president, I would give the people back their power. I would, through the people, force the Congress in the Senate's hand and making changes, tax code changes, healthcare changes. You talk about united. I would get through the working class first. Forget about the rich folks. The working class. I would enforce childcare, affordable childcare, affordable everything. Because at the end of the day, you have working class people who can't even afford their own healthcare because they have to get it through their jobs.
That's what Biden was talking about doing the night of
That's the problem. I would force the Congress in the Senate's hand through the American people. This is where marketing and PR comes hand in hand. Because what at least Biden and some other people have failed to realize, that you need the backing of the American people, not the backing of the Congress and the Senate. Because I hate to say this though, and I got to swallow my pride. time. But Trump figured it out. Trump, through that insurrection, figured it out. And he's using that playbook as we speak because he's using his base to force the hands of the Congress and the Senate, and he has got his Supreme Court judge through that too.
All right, you tell.
Well, they said that they
behind the truth,
right?
And that is where the Democrats have failed because they have not realized that you cannot get deals done through privatized anything. You need to get it through the American people and get the American people to understand what is going on. And if you cannot get it through the message through, you have lost lost the messaging. You have lost it. Because I'm just saying. Biden has the Democrats have lost the messaging because they have the worst. Like the woman said, who was okay? I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm all over the place. That lady from Texas, Miss Crockett. God bless you. God bless you, girl. You are speaking fact. The Democrats are scared of their own shadow. She said that
because of the exposure that will happen. Because
they are scared of their own shadow. They have lost the messenger. They have lost the messaging, and that is the problem with politics. If you want success, get the American people behind you to do the kicking and the beating and the scratching. So these senators and these Congress people do their job because they're not doing their job at this point.
That's right.
My question that I pose is this. So we sit back now, since all of this, and since now, and this is the part that kind of like gets me with us especially. We sit back and talk about the factor of what is it done about and what is being said and what is this, and the Democrats saying this and Democrats saying that and all this, that, and the other and the third. So the only reason why we know what's going on now is because of the shit show that was put in place beforehand.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All the things that's going on now probably was already going on then. We just didn't know shit about it.
Right, absolutely. Well, the cycle of, and if you've been on the planet a little bit period of time, the cycle of the change that happens in America is always every 8 years. Okay, there's a rise and a fall every 8 years, and it depends on how that 8 years rises or falls, who happens to be in office at that time. Okay, why that is, it could be the unexplainable situation. But my thing with that rise and fall every 8 years, it should be the reverse of all of those people in Washington. Every 8 years, they need to go. They need to go. Clean house every 8 years.
This is what's in it.
You got to go.
This was finna get ready to tell the story because this is the thing. Every election is all about money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We talked about money.
Yes.
It's all about who can raise the most money, who has the most influence to be able to bring the most money in, all of this, that, and the other, and the third. At this moment, they can say whatever the hell they want to say about Biden. He might be old, he might be all of these things, but that man, he has his supporters and he know how to bring that motherfucking money in.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. Trump, he has his people bringing it in, but the thing about it is this.
I agree. You did bring up a point. How it seems like, the celebrities, I'll just say for name, that are, were on board and, and they're all kind of, they supported, let's say, to the point they supported because of the financial obligation. So that financial obligation should be bringing a return. That return that they're expecting is for him to get elected as president. So at this point, when it seems like the way he has his message, as you've been bringing out strategically, is being lost somewhere, so they're feeling like their investment is being lost at the same time. So at this point, when you are operating in that place of wealth, is what I've been educating people at my store about. When you're at that place of wealth, you want to hear things that are always going to make your investment increase. So whether it is what, as you mentioned, Darnell, there's a return somewhere in there. Okay, because you just don't give out that kind of money not expecting a similar return. It could be a movie that needs to get pushed. I'm just giving you examples, But there's a return on every dollar these people putting out there. This is why the people get behind Trump, because there's an investment. These high-end businesses, ones you used to work for and I worked for one time, got behind this man. Thank God he lost. Okay. But these companies don't take care of their people. And, we don't need to get in all that. But again, it's about an investment. So right now, as you brought up, these celebrities that feel like the investment on President Biden's behalf is not going to bring the return that they expect. Now, that return is him getting elected and probably some other hidden things that we don't know about, like you said, Darnell. So I wish I could speak to that with more of a stronger point, but that point I can't mention, about it. So that's something we'll have to wait and see. It's how the political system has been, but it goes back to what we've been discussing. Is very simple. Until we get to a place where we see the unity in one another and quit this division, and quit giving excuses for the division and our excuses about how we want to separate our individual selves from somebody we don't like in humanity. That's what it all boils down to. And that dictates behaviors. I mean, we could go back and say how slavery was and all that. Yes, African Americans, we repeat that. And I think it really, honestly, we repeat it a little too much. Okay. Because the reason I say that is because where are you beyond that? You see, at the end of the day, where are you beyond it? Where is your unity? I'm shifting conversation, y'all, real quick. Where is your unity beyond that? I know everybody in America at this point knows what happened. All right. And everybody, whether they choose to believe it, it is a fact. Okay. And they really don't need to be reminded of the fact consistently all the time when something goes wrong. The question here for you is that from that fact, where are you building yourself on the principles of what your ancestors went through? That's the question you should be asking yourself. Okay, not all of the things that was going on. This, where are you building upon your ancestors' legacies? Okay, that legacy meaning that the truth, the triumph, the victory, the power, the endurance, okay, that they went through during that time. Where are you capitalizing on that strength? Why are you not building buildings? Why are you not being the number one, trying your best to be the number one at the bank every time it opens to get you some money? Okay, I know there's obstacles. Okay, don't come at me talking about you don't know. I know that there's obstacles out there, but you have the you have the strength behind you to get through those. Hey, can you imagine walking up? I'm just going to bring it up for an example. Walking up and finding your family member swinging from a tree. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? But those people stood around and watched horrific things, but they knew that somebody was coming along to give them victory over what they went through. That's what you should be capitalizing on at this particular point in time, not another person's skin color, because you're better than the skin color that you're challenging. Okay? Because you come from a strong stock, and that strong stock makes you better. Utilize that. This Juneteenth stuff need to go. Let it go, people. Let it go. If you're going to do something like what did I say last week? Mm-hmm. A week before last. I know I'm running my mouth. I'm sorry. But here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let them finish. This Juneteenth thing, y'all need to stop. Unless you find a correct way to present it to give your community liberty. And the only way that you're gonna get liberty is to get together. We're talking about unity. Y'all need to get together. Okay, not getting on top of buildings, twerking and seeing how much whatever you can get into. And let's start putting the money together to be a Juneteenth celebration. Okay, celebrate the fact that you can build a business together. Celebrate the fact that you got unity together. Celebrate that you're supporting people, not just in your community of a Black business, but wherever they are. You walk into a business and a person, they could be working at Macy's. Make sure you go to that person that works at Macy's and give them your business. It don't mean it has to be a business in your neighborhood. Okay, let's start doing that. Okay, and I think that the ancestors would be really happy. Really, really happy, because whatever they went through, you're capitalizing on the way that you're becoming more successful. All right, go ahead, man. Sorry. That was my preach message.
Baby, they said that the man turned around and hit a Jussie Smollett.
Huh?
That's what they just stated in the news. They said that they feel as if he just did a Jussie Smollett, honey.
What do you mean?
You know what the hell Jussie Smollett went to jail for? Darling, I know you will turn around and know what he went to jail for. Faking the whole aspect of it, having someone to set the whole thing up and faking and lying about the whole thing. Now they saying that it's fake. The whole situation.
So wait a minute. How we start off the show? I mean,
now really? They turn around and saying that the whole thing was faked.
Well, the truth behind truth said that before you. I mean, thank you for sharing. But go ahead, let me bring your point, baby.
Is this real though?
I mean, he looking in real time, so I can't go there right now because I'm monitoring our temperature.
It's foolish. It's pure foolishness.
Oh my God, I can't.
It's just pure entertainment to those who look at it as entertainment. And this country is at this point, anything is just pure entertainment right now. Even stuff like this,
right?
And that's what's troubling about the situation. Yeah. It's all pure entertainment. It's commoditized. The social media has really mellowed out the worst of the worst in our society, right. And that this is the worst, right. And along with other stuff. But the society that we live in today, it's just awful. It's awful. Well, but we got an awful man who's rising into the ranks of wanting to come back and be our president, and you got those who just as awful as him want him back.
Right. That's true.
And I hate to say this, those people who are speaking the loudest, just like that fool that wanted to preach to me about all that craziness that he's getting from wherever he's getting it from, they are sounding the loudest over those who are civilized. And I do still go back blaming the media, because the media, as they could do a better job, but they are complicit in this man's rise. They're complicit, and I can only blame. I don't blame the ignorant. I blame the ones who are knowledgeable to know better. I don't blame the ignorant, because it ain't no way of speaking truth to them, because they're gonna believe in their own ignorance. But the ones who know better, and I'm talking about the media, I blame them over that fool today.
Sensationalism.
I blame them over that fool today, because they know better to speak truth to the lies. Right. And the problem is they're not doing a good job. And they're just, and like I say, it's all
that's the same thing that they're saying right now, because they just made a statement. TMZ just put it out from Secret Service, stated the fact that he was not struck by a bullet, said that it was the glass, the bullet hit the teleprompter, and it was a glass shatter that turned around and hit. That's how he ended up with the blood. They say he was not struck by a bullet. And now he wanted them to put that false narrative out. The fact that he was struck by a bullet.
Wow.
But it was actually a gun, though. It was a gun that went off, right?
It was a gun that went off.
So, I always say TMZ is a believable source, because, that man, he sent people. I know you like TMZ.
They said they got that from the Secret Service. They got that from the Secret Service.
I think, TMZ is really not a falsehood. I know you don't like TMZ, but
I don't care for him.
Yeah, I really don't. Yeah, but they very are factual, pretty much, but of course they're more in the celebrity arena of everything, but this is, of course, hot news at the, particular moment in time, But I'm like I said, when we started out the show, this is going to be talked about all weekend long. They're going to be investigating. It's going to be over and over again. And at some point, somebody's going to say it was President Biden's fault. So get ready, President Biden, because they're going to blame this on you.
Get ready.
They're going to add this to the shitload of stuff they keep trying to throw at you right now. But I just want to say to President Biden, his followers, everybody, give this man a chance. At the end of the day, we got a great, strong vice president. Y'all don't like the fact a lot of things about her. Yes, she has done some things, okay, and I get it. But who hasn't done some things that they have to be repentant for, if you want to use it? Who hasn't? And one of the things we got to stop doing is point out what everybody else has done and start looking at what you are doing, okay? Because trust me, you are doing.
Say that again.
Okay. Look, stop looking at what. Stop looking at what other people are doing, have done, and then start looking at what you're doing. Okay, and trust me, you are doing some things. All right, a lot of people don't know about it, but you're still doing it. All right, you're doing it behind closed doors. You're doing it in front of somebody, but you're doing it. All right, so let's take an opportunity to reform. Hey, use this platform today to have the falsehood that Donald Trump has probably created. Okay, news media, tell the truth behind the truth. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all won't. I know it. I'm just putting it out there.
Everybody go play Whitney Houston's Love Will Save the Day, because what you are just saying and what we all been saying during this whole entire show goes, it registers with that song. Right. I hate to say it, but it is Love true. Love will save the day. Yes, and I hate to say it.
No, you hate to say it's true.
It's true behind the truth.
And lead the way too.
and lead the way.
Lead the way. What I said, hey, unconditional.
Love, but this other stuff ain't saving it. This other stuff that we listening to and we dealing with, it ain't saving nobody.
No.
And it's gonna bring us. It's gonna bring this country to the abyss.
Right. Absolutely. If we don't find a way to unify each other within our spirits, okay, and get together and let that spirit draw us to a certain place. I know everybody not gonna get that, and everybody that probably hears this message,
it's corny to a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
This type of talk is corny,
right?
Because nobody wants to hear corniness. They want to hear something that's terrible and it's garbage. And it's like that's. And I keep saying this is why they revert to Trump, because Trump speaks our language.
Right.
He speaks that garbage and negativity because he has nothing to stand on. The man don't even have a plan, but he do have plan. He do have Project 2025, which he denounced.
Right.
But then you have the Heritage Foundation who endorses him and have that plan.
Right.
How can you denounce a plan that somebody who is giving you money to go out here and run these lies, and you're saying you're denouncing their plan? That don't make sense to me.
My question is that if you don't believe it, ask his friend Steve Bannon that's locked up for it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, there's always facts. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Truth Behind the Truth. We're a little over, but we were a little late starting, so we gave you a few extra minutes. Tonight. We went commercial free tonight because I thought that it was a very good point to stay in this vein of conversation without breaking it.
And we miss you, Charles. Where you at?
So be here next week, guys. I'm sure there's going to be more that we'll be able to talk about it. And just like I said, how the universe set it up for him to have the alleged shot before we came on tonight. So that was a great opportunity.
So go get your Trump shots at the bar. They're passing them out.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Darnell, good to see you tonight, love.
Bye, Darnell.
Yes, you too, love.
We'll have a great time next week right here on what? The truth behind the truth.
The truth.
Good night, guys.